Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Metal Chaos. It's your host, Dave. I got along me guitarist from Nasty Savage, David Austin. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. And first of all, I just want to tell you that I really appreciate you reaching out to me and wanting to even do the interview. So we appreciate you guys that do this kind of thing and, you know, reaching out to the metal community. And I just want to say that how much I really appreciate this.
No problem. I appreciate you guys still being around after all these years, man.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying in our old age.
So now you and Ronnie are the only two original members left, right?
Only two original members left, yeah.
From 1983. So
1983. 35 years ago, and we're still, you know, doing the gigs, and man, we got a busy 2018. Not a ton of shows, but we got quite a few coming up. So we're excited about it, and we're happy about it, and we love to play and entertain, and hopefully I see some new Savage material coming soon. So I think that's going to happen. So we're excited about it.
you guys have any new songs written yet?
Not any written yet. I have a lot in the memory bank. You know, a lot of riffs that I want to put together, and we have a very solid lineup right now, very professional lineup, and they're all on board to do the same thing. So we're happy about it. Right now, we're just, you know, rehearsing, you know, our set list for the shows that we have coming up. We have one coming up in Tampa, April 14th, and then we're doing the Milwaukee Spring Bash, April 21st, along with, you know, Atrophy and Sirathungol and lots of other bands. And then the 28th, we go down to Lima, Peru, and we do a show with Atrophy and several other bands. So we got a lot going on in April. So we're looking forward to it.
So now currently you got Damian Gordon on guitar, and Richard Bateman on bass, and Jim Coker on drums, right? No?
Richard Bateman decided he didn't want to do this anymore. So we have Scott Carina on bass, who did a tour with Death on the Human tour. He actually played bass on one of the instrumental on Human. I've known the guy for 30 plus years, good friend, and he's working out fantastic. He's completely into it, and we have Jim Coker on drums, and we have Pete Sykes on guitar, which is another local Tampa guy that's he's been around for a long time, and everything's really working out well. So, we're doing everything we can to keep this together and to bring the old school set to the people that want to hear the old school Nasty Savage, and that's what we're trying to accomplish here and have a good time in the process.
So now, when did you guys part ways with Damian?
That was after the Germany show that we did last February. Parted with him. Just kind of a personal, reasons there that I don't really want to get into, but just didn't work out.
So to this day, you guys got 5 full-length albums out?
Yes, we have.
Well, actually, two
first two, which are full length.
2 EPs and 3.
And the Abstract Reality was the EP, and then we did Penetration Point. Psycho came out in 2004.
The Wage of Mayhem.
We did an EP in 2002. Wage of Mayhem, and then there's actually a live CD from Cleveland in '87 that came out a while back.
So now, when you guys formed the band in 1983, who was actually the person that formed the band?
The actual original members of the band were Ronnie Galletti, Ben Meyer, Fred Dregeshin, and Craig Huffman, may he rest in peace, a childhood friend of mine that I've known since he was 5 years old. He passed away a couple of years ago from cancer. They were the original four, actually, and then that was kind of short-lived. That incarnation of the band, they decided to part ways with Craig Huffman in '83, and myself and Curtis Beeson joined in '83 at the same time. So that made up the unit that did the original demo, and we carried on from there.
Right. So now to this day, is Ronnie still going to be busting television sets up?
Absolutely. Yeah, it will be busting television sets and getting bloody, and it's going to be mayhem like it was back in the day. He still does the same thing. So yeah, he's all on board with the TVs.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, David. At what age did you begin playing guitar?
I started playing guitar when I was probably 16. My uncle and my dad both played. My brother played, and I kind of followed suit and started getting into it. Listening to Ted Nugent and Kiss and all those bands in the mid '70s, and Kiss was probably my biggest influence as far as not really musically what I ended up writing, but as far as just wanting to be in a band, Ace Frehley was my main, god as far as like guitar, wanting to actually make me want to be in a band and perform and everything.
So now, besides Ace Frehley, you have any other guitarists that are influential to you?
Oh yeah, Uli Roth is one of my all-time favorites. Michael Schenker, Richie Blackmore. Those are probably my top four right there, as including Ace Frehley as my overall influences. But of course, I like several other guitar players. But those were my main guys, that I listened to a lot. I listened to a lot of Jeff Beck back in the day, and that would kind of help me think out of the box a little bit, because I try to be as even back in the day when we were doing the demo in the first album, I always tried to be unique as possible as far as guitar solos. So Willie John Roth, especially, and Jeff Beck were heavy influences in trying to just come up with my own unique style and help me just think out of the box.
Now, did you play any bands prior to Nasty Savage?
Yes, before Nasty Savage, I played in a band called Gangster, which I originally wrote The Morgue, which is on the first album, in that band. So I already had that song written before I joined Nasty Savage. And I had another song called Vigilante, which we played live with Nasty Savage, but it never made it to a recording. I actually used part of that song, Vigilante, the chorus, and used it for the song Welcome Wagon, which was on the Penetration Point release. And before that, I played in a band called Virgin Killer, because I was a heavy Scorpions-influenced guy, and Virgin Killer was one of my favorite albums of all time. So we named the band Virgin Killer, and we basically did nothing but covers: Black Sabbath, Thin Lizzy, Iron Maiden, Saxon, and that type of stuff.
Right. So now, when you started playing guitar, did you take lessons or were you self-taught?
Self-taught, pretty much. I took 3 or 4 lessons and learned some bar chords, and after that, I just took it. I self-taught myself as far as like scales and and that type of thing. I taught myself.
So now, when you guys were on Metal Blade, how did Metal Blade treat you?
Oh, they were good. I think we probably could have gone further if we would have signed longer deals with them. Every album that we did was a 1-year deal with them. we never did like a 5-year deal like a lot of guys did. On hindsight, probably should have done maybe a 5-year deal with them, and we probably would have got promoted more. But that's just the way that we did it, and it is what it is. I hate to use that term, but that's the truth.
So now, if you guys put out a new album like you're talking about, are you gonna shop for a record label, or are you gonna do it yourself?
Probably do it ourselves, I would say. We haven't really got to that point of discussing how we're going to do that, how we're going to market it, and those things. But that's usually the way to go now. It's really hard to pick up a deal with a label these days unless you're going to go out and tour your ass off, which we're really kind of not able to do just because we have we all have jobs and responsibilities with kids and stuff like that. So we just try to, we do shows when we can, and according to our schedule with families and work and those type of things, like a lot of guys do.
Right. So now, in the past, how many times has Nancy Savage been out to the Midwest to play?
We went up to the Midwest in '85. We did a few Midwest shows in probably '86, '87. We did a lot of Midwest shows in 1990 when we did a tour with DRI. We actually did like 60 shows in 65 days, on that tour. So we were playing every night. I think we did like 40 states in 1990 on that tour, in a van, and put 22,000 miles on the van in the process. And it was very close quarters, but we had a lot of fun on that tour with DRI and Sick of It All.
So now, being that you've been an artist for so long, what do you think are the pros and cons in the music business?
The pros in the music business is there's still a lot of young guys out there that have the desire to do this, which is always good because they just want to share their music, their art with the public, and they have and they're able to do that through social media. The cons are, it's very, very hard, in my opinion, as an older guy, just kind of looking at the scene, I listen to new bands on occasion and stuff like that as much as I can, as the schedule permits, but the hard part is there's such a flood of bands now because you can record everything at home, you promote it, via Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media, venue you want to use. But the hard part is there's so many bands, and it's so hard to, get on a tour or you really have to be a marketing genius and have a little bit of money and a little bit of backing to be able to promote yourself. You can do the best you can on those avenues, through social media, but it's difficult. So that's the cons of it. It was hard back in our day too, but there was just not as many bands, and you had to work a little harder because you were writing letters back and forth to fanzines and record labels and other bands, and that was the avenue that we had to take back in the day. But I think the most part is these days there's just millions of bands trying to do everything they can to make it, and it's I think it's way more difficult now. Even with the social media, aspect of it to be able to promote your band.
Yeah, I remember the old days with the pen pals, tape trade and all that.
Oh yeah, that was great times. Me and Ronnie would actually sit in his bedroom at his mom's house and write letters all day long. 8 hours. We would just write letters to fanzines. We would write letters back to fans. we would get mail from Germany and, Holland and France and all these places and answer every letter. And that's what we did. Besides working, we would spend, all day on a Saturday, just writing letters. And, and Ronnie was a big part of the marketing for Nasty Savage way back in the day. He basically, with the demo, when we put it out, as far as getting signed to Metal Blade, I mean, he pushed that and he wrote to every fanzine that he could possibly think of, to market our band and promote it. And we ended up getting signed to Metal Blade for that reason. So we owe a lot of credit to him for that.
Yeah, I still have that cassette tape around somewhere. I actually got it from you guys. You guys sent it to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Of course.
So now, for the band Nasty Savage, what's been your fondest memory of this band?
Fondest memory? Probably just the, I have to go back to the beginning because, a lot of the local shows that we were doing, at the time, when we first started doing local shows, there was really nobody else but Avatar, which, later became Sabotage. They did a lot of gigs in Clearwater, and we actually, me and a couple of buddies of mine went and saw Avatar way back in the day, like in '83, and we told those guys, you guys got to come to Brandon and play. And we ended up hooking them up with just a bar, in Brandon that we played at, and it was fantastic. So it was really just our band and their band, and then we had a lot of other bands to follow. There was Obituary, who was Executioner at the time. They would come to our practices on their bicycles, and listen to us practice, and like Chuck Scholiner, from Death.
Yeah.
And, those guys, they actually had a magazine. Oh, God, the name escapes me. At the time, they had a fanzine they were doing. We did an interview with them. And that was when Chuck had just formed Mantis at the time before they were called Death. I've known all those guys, the guys in Morbid Angel, just all these Tampa bands. I've known them since they were, 15, 16 years old. They would be at our shows every time we played. So, that was a cool thing that we kind of influenced, not musically, but, that, we're doing this. So it kind of excited them, we can do this too. So it was a good pioneering moment, back in '83 in the Brandon, Tampa area, at the time. So really cool. Those are my fondest memories. Just seeing all those guys that were, 15, 16 years old that hadn't even started their demos yet, and I knew them all. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So now for 2004 Psycho Psycho, the title track of the album, who wrote that song, Ronnie?
Psycho Psycho?
Yeah. The title track, Psycho Psycho, who wrote that song? The title track,
the title track. Yeah, Ronnie wrote the lyrics and I wrote the music for that time.
So now what is the song about? Just someone being a psycho?
You have to ask Ronnie that question because he wrote the lyrics. So I don't really have an answer to what's going on in Ronnie's head, when it comes to lyrics. So that would be a question for him.
All right, you wanna take a quick break and play that song right now?
What's that?
I said you want to take a quick break and play that song, Psycho Psycho?
Oh, you're actually going to play the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
All right. Here's Psycho Psycho, title track. So hope everyone enjoys the song. Okay, we're live back on the air. That was Psycho Psycho from the 2004 album, title track, Psycho Psycho. So now, how did that album sell for you guys?
Okay, you know, uh, okay. I'll give it an okay. It wasn't really promoted that well, so you know, it is what it is. So they, you know, Metal Blade Europe put it out, and it was released in the States on Crooked Records. So it did okay, I guess.
Now, when we're up,
That's all I got on that.
now when we're off there, you're talking about Metal Blade doing re-releases of some of your stuff.
Yeah, they did reissues of the first album and Indulgence, and it also has Abstract Reality on it as well. It was like a Indulgence combination with Abstract Reality, and it's got you know, the original artwork. It's got a nice big poster in the inside of it. It's got the original collages in the inside of it. It came out on each album. Came out in like 6 different colors of vinyl, you know, black and blood red and marble gray and swamp green and, you know, purple and a bunch of different colored vinyls. And I talked to Armin, who is the guy from Metal Blade Europe, and they sold out of them, so that did good. And, that was a nice souvenir for me to have, too, you know, with the colored vinyl and everything. It was nice. They did a really, really great job on the packaging with that.
So now, currently, how's your hometown fan base?
Say that again?
I said currently, like, to this day, 2018, how's your fan base out there in Florida?
Oh, well, you know, we're doing a show coming up here April 14th at the Brass Mog. It's, you know, it's everybody's older now, so so you know, I would be, you know, I would say that, you know, that we're playing the venue that holds about 500 people. You know, probably be 400 or 500 there, I think. So it'll be a good turnout. You know, Obituary plays there all the time, and I'm good buddies with them, and we bullshit about all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be good.
So you guys still got a pretty big following out there in Florida, then?
Yeah, not bad. You know, it's just, you know, it's like I said, you know, people are in their 40s, 50s that, you know, grew up with us, and, you know, some people can get out, some people can't. So, you know, the scene in Florida, I really, you know, I've been away from it for so long because I just moved back here from Tennessee. I've been in Tennessee for 24 years. So I just moved back there, and, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, it's going to be a fun night. We're playing with Siren, which is a band from way back in '84 in Brandon. And Oblivion's playing, which is another band that's way back, 84, 85, 86. And, we all know each other. We've known each other for 35 years. And we're going to have a good time that night. And hopefully it'll be a good crowd there. It should be fun.
Right. So now what's your opinion about illegal downloading?
Well, I mean, is it really illegal anymore? I mean, you can download pretty much. I mean, you can listen to anything on YouTube, you know. So, unfortunately, you know, if your label puts you on Spotify, you know, how much money are you going to get? You know, I've listened to an interview. I forgot the name of the guy. I can't remember his name, but he was in like Everclear or something like that. But they had like I don't know, like 3 million downloads, and the guy made like $850 off of the download. You know, so not good. So that's I'm not in it for the money anymore. So if you're in it for the money, you have to get your ass out there and tour, and you got to sell merchandise. That's the only way that you're making money anymore. You're not making money off of downloads. That's the way that I see it, you know. from, and I know a lot of guys, you know, I'm buddies with a lot of guys, Cannibal Corpse and Obituary and, you know, all those dudes, and they're still out there doing it, and they have to get out there and tour and sell merchandise. You know, that's where they're making their money. So
let me ask you, what's your favorite club in Florida?
My favorite what?
What's your favorite club in Florida?
She said, what's your favorite club in Florida?
Club in Florida. Oh, I'm not getting out, you know, doing the clubs or anything, but as far as metal is concerned, that would be the Brass Mug that we're playing April 14th, the Orpheum in Ybor City, the Crowbar in Ybor City, State Theater, St. Pete, Janice Landing, St. Pete. Those are like probably the major ones that do metal. So, as far as metal is concerned, that would be those will be my favorites.
Does Orlando have any clubs for metal?
I'm not really sure about Orlando because I really never go there. So I have no idea what clubs, you know, support metal in Orlando, to be honest with you.
Right. So now, for young bands that are starting out, what kind of advice would you give young bands starting out?
Market the hell out of yourself. You know, come up with something unique. You know, not the same, you know, if you're going to do black metal or death metal or whatever you're going to do, bring some kind of uniqueness to it and try not to duplicate what other bands have done. Really try to make yourself stand out and be special, and you give yourself some kind of identity that makes you stand out from the other bands, and work your ass off, promote yourself, and get out there and play. I mean, that's all you can do.
Now in Florida, do they got any promoters that do pay-to-play shows?
That I have no idea. Yeah. Not a clue. I have no answer for that question. Because, you know, I know when we play, we get paid, and for the other guys, maybe if there's a festival that comes through here, you know, that you could probably pay to get on, but I don't really know about that.
You know, over here we got that kind of shit happening where the band's got to pay to play.
Yeah, and that's actually not a unique thing. That's been going on for years and years and years. So, you know, there's a lot of bands way back in the day that, you know, if you wanted to get on a certain bill, you had to pay, like the Ozfest or, you know, those kind of big festivals like that, you would have to pay. You know, even in Europe, a lot of the festivals over there, you might have to pay unless you're a reputable band that's been around for a while and you've been around the scene for a long time.
So now in Florida, do they pay the cover bands more to play than the original bands?
I have no idea. I don't know when anybody gets paid. I know what we get paid. I have no idea when anybody else gets paid.
Yeah, because they
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, well, that's what they do over here. The cover bands get paid more to play.
Not all bands.
Then like local original bands, they get paid less.
Not all bands.
Which is kind of bullshit, you know.
Yeah, I've never been in a cover band in my life, so I have no idea what they get paid. You know.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
So now with the upcoming album, you're going to try to keep it in the same vein as like, you know, like old school Nasty Savage music?
Well, upcoming song that we're going to write, we're not, you know, we haven't, you know, discussed really doing a full album. You know, we're just thinking about writing some new music, and yeah, it'll be a lot, yeah. I'm going to write it, so it's going to sound like Nasty Savage. You know, I don't really know, you know, it'll be kind of, you know, partially technical, like Penetration Point, and, you know, partially groovy, you know, with a groove to it, like Indulgence or the first album, you know, so we'll see what happens. It's definitely going to sound like Nasty Savage, without a doubt.
So it'll be like a groove thrash.
Yeah, It's going to have some groove thrash, and it'll have technical elements, you know, like a lot of technical stuff that we did on Penetration Point.
So, let me ask you this, David. What was the first metal concert you ever attended?
First metal concert would be Iron Maiden
Ask him, Obituary or Cannibal?
on the Number of the Beast tour.
Cannibal Corpse or Obituary?
I'm talking like big concert would be like Iron Maiden. First metal concert, you know, if you want to, you know, that I attended would probably be Avatar, which, you know, became Sabotage back in like '83.
So I got a question. This is gonna
Sure.
this is gonna be a hard one. Cannibal Corpse or Obituary?
You can't do that to me because
I have to.
I'm friends with both of those
I
bands.
know.
I like both of them for different reasons.
I know, I like them both too.
I think John Tardy has one of the most unmistakable voices in death metal in the history of death metal. Because right when, and I like Trevor Perez, the guitar player for Obituary, because right when he hits a note, you know exactly who that band is. Cannibal Corpse, I like for different reasons, because just they have been nonstop ferocious at what they do and have never taken the foot off the gas the entire time. So I give a lot of respect for both of those bands.
But you gotta pick one or the other.
Probably Obituary, just because they have more of there's a groove instead of, they don't do a lot of blast beats, which I can't, you know, blast beats I like, if I'm in the mood for them, I'm into it, but, you know, I'm probably more toward Obituary, you know, but I like both bands.
I love both bands too.
Yeah, they're both great bands. So now, David, you got a funny or embarrassing story that happened with Nasty Savage?
I got a million of them, but I'll tell you.
One.
Let me see. I'll tell you one. We were in Minneapolis in 1990 on tour with Sick of It All and DRI. And I was kind of notorious for coming back to the hotel late after everybody was in bed. And I got into the hotel room. Everybody was asleep. There was probably 7 people in the hotel room, probably 3 on the floor. Everybody doubled up in the beds, stuff like that, like we did, because that's what we had to do. But I tiptoed over all the people on the floor, and I was gonna go take a leak. And right before I was going into the bathroom, I tripped over somebody's blanket and went shoulder first into the toilet and took the whole toilet off of the bathroom floor, and there was a geyser of water coming out of the bathroom floor and immediately flooded the entire hotel room that we were in.
Oh.
So everybody was pissed off. They were screaming at me, telling me "fuck you" and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's shit was wet. There was like 2 inches of water on the floor in a matter of, I'm talking like 10 minutes.
Honey, you broke the toilet though.
Yeah, toilet was broke. Yeah.
But
I kind of went into it like a linebacker tackling a wide receiver on accident.
But you didn't get injured or nothing, right?
No, I had a sore shoulder the next day, but I was, in my 20s, so I recovered quickly.
Yeah, when you're in
These
your
days,
20s.
I might be in the hospital.
Yeah, when you're in your 20s, you recover quickly. So let me ask you, what's your favorite food?
Absolutely.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Mm-hmm.
Cuban sandwiches. Cuban sandwiches.
What's in a Cuban sandwich?
Roasted pork, Swiss cheese, Virginia ham, pickles, mustard on Cuban bread, and
Nice.
pressed and nice and crispy to perfection.
like paninis.
Exactly.
But it's Cuban. Okay.
Yeah.
My
Cuban
favorite.
bread.
My favorite food is.
That's what.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Dave had that before in Florida.
No, they're great. Yeah.
My favorite food is pasta salad.
That's fabulous.
Oh yeah, I make the best pasta salads.
Awesome.
Vegetarian or meat. It all depends on what we have at home.
Right.
So, what's your favorite drink? Non-alcoholic or alcoholic?
Non-alcoholic, probably water. Alcoholic, beer.
What kind of beer?
All different kinds of craft beer. Domestic, private, Bud Light. Whatever. I like it all.
Where were you born?
North Carolina.
You got the accent.
I lived in Tennessee for 24 years too.
North Carolina, come on, take your shirt off, raise them up, spin a right helicopter. Remember that rap song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 5 favorite bands or top 3?
I can't. There's no way I can get the top.
Okay.
3. I mean,
Okay.
UFO, Scorpions, Kiss, tons of others. UFO, Scorpions, probably, they're up there in my top 5.
Okay,
Old
now
Scorpions.
that's cool. I like Scorpions. Now, when I was in Florida a couple years back, when we first went to Florida a couple years back, I bought a keychain, and it has a scorpion side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of weird, kind of freaky as shit. It's okay. I don't like it. And then there was a candy in Florida where people can eat the scorpions in a candy. Ugh.
Not for me.
No. Okay. Now, what websites can your band be found on?
Site?
What websites?
NastySavage.com.
And any other websites?
Nasty Savage Doom Society on Facebook.
Okay.
Nasty Savage fan page. That's another one. Those are about those top 3 right there.
Okay. Dave? This show.
Well, thanks so much for your time for the interview, David.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And appreciate you calling me and doing the interview. Thank you.
Do you have any final words for the fans that are listening in?
Yeah, we're looking forward to. We have a lot planned. We have the 3 shows that I mentioned before: Tampa, Milwaukee Spring Bash, and Lima, Peru. The Abaddon Fest, April 28th. We're playing the Strike Fest in June 22nd in LA with Exciter and several other bands, and we're about to seal the deal on 5 shows in South America in October, in Ecuador, Colombia, Chile, Argentina, and 2 shows in Mexico City. And we're about to seal the deal on a show in San Antonio, Texas in November. So we got a lot of shows. Not a ton, but we got quite a few shows for us coming up. So we're looking forward to it.
That's good. So all the band members, are they from Florida?
Yes.
Okay. And Saturday, April 21st at the NYDM at Club Garibaldi's, right? They play?
Yep.
Yeah, Club Garibaldi's,
Yep.
not Cactus Club.
Yep.
Because there's 2 clubs that night for NYDM Spring Bash. There's the Cactus one and there's Club Garibaldi's.
Right. Yeah, we're playing at we're headlining Saturday night, and I think I forgot who the other 2 had. But Serathon Gulls is headlining one night, and
Sunday.
Hellstar I think is headlining one night.
Friday.
Yeah,
and
and
we're
then
playing
yeah, and Thursday the Atrophy headline.
Right. Yeah.
Atrophy.
And then we'll see them the following week in Peru.
That's
We're playing with Atrophy the following week.
Okay, who's doing Thursday? Who's doing Thursday?
Atrophy.
Atrophy, Hellstar Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday,
Nasty Savage.
Nasty Savage, Sunday,
Sir's
Uncle. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you for your time.
All right.
Stay on the
Appreciate
phone.
it,
Stay on the
guys.
phone.